Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, we will explore the most sinister aspects of human nature. We're sharing a frightening story with you today about a horrible pair that lured and killed an innocent victim. This is the terrible account of Jaren Lockhart's untimely death, a case that shocked and astounded the country. So grab a seat and get ready for a chilling descent into the world of true crime. Jaren Lockhart, a youthful and lively woman, is the protagonist of our story. Jaren, a dancer who was 22 years old, had a zest for life and a desire of becoming successful in the performing arts. She made an impression on all who watched her dance thanks to her enthralling performances and contagious energy. Family, close friends, and co-workers who valued her hard work and talent all adored Jaren. In the dynamic metropolis of New Orleans, Jaren chased her aspirations, and her life was full of potential and promise. She embraced the community, taking full advantage of the music, gastronomy, and lively atmosphere that made the city special. She was driven to achieve by Jaren's passion and perseverance, which inspired her to aim high in all she did. Sadly, disaster struck when Jaren met Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez, a pair whose nefarious plans would bring about her premature death. Jaren had no way of knowing the sinister secrets Terry and Margaret were keeping, never alone the danger she would soon be in. Jaren was the ideal victim for these evil people because of her naivety and love for life. She had no idea what lay in store for her, so she was trusting and unwary. She had no idea that a chance meeting with Terry and Margaret would trigger a terrifying ordeal that would take her life. As we delve deeper into this shocking story, we can't help but mourn the loss of a young woman whose potential was cut short in the most tragic of circumstances. Jaren Lockhart's story serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk in even the most seemingly ordinary places. Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez appeared to be a typical marriage, but they were concealing a dark secret. Margaret, his partner, and Terry, a convicted sex offender, lived on the periphery of society, giving in to their deepest urges and participating in illegal acts. There were many warning signs presented by Terry Speaks' problematic past. In the past, he had engaged in criminal behavior and been found guilty of sexual offenses. He was dangerous due to his predatory tendencies and contempt for other people's safety. Despite his turbulent past, Terry was able to fit in and hide his actual self from all who came into contact with him. Terry's lover Margaret Sanchez helped him carry out his evil deeds. Together, they made a lethal partnership and preyed on innocent people who got in their way. Margaret's participation in Terry's illicit activities reveals a shared need for power and control as she volunteered for the horrific events to take place. Terry and Margaret might appear normal and unassuming to the outside world, which made them much more deadly. They seemed to be a typical couple while hiding their evil motives behind a curtain of lies. By concealing their true nature from people around them, they were able to move through civilization thanks to their ability to fit in. However, when they came into contact with Jaren Lockhart, a kind young woman whose life would soon become tragically entwined with theirs, their deceptive facade started to fall apart. The horrors Terry and Margaret were capable of committing will soon be exposed as the depths of their depravity were made clear. Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez were not only a deceitful pair, but also a force of evil that left a trail of gloom and devastation in their wake, as we discover when we follow their twisted journey. They were among the most horrifying criminals in our society because of their ability to seduce and manipulate their victims, which revealed a sickening degree of deliberate evil. Jaren Lockhart went missing on the evening of June 6, 2012, sending her loved ones into a panic and sadness. Investigators started putting Jaren's disappearance together as the hours grew into days, and it soon became obvious that Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez were at the heart of this terrifying mystery. The duo was seen with Jaren on the night she vanished in surveillance footage from a nearby nightclub. In order to unravel the web of deceit Terry and Margaret had spun, law enforcement would begin with this vital piece of information. The more they looked, the more unsettling a pattern became. In the past, Terry and Margaret had preyed on the weak and lured them into their dangerous world. They used charm, deceptive promises, and preying on the innocence and naivete of their victims as means of manipulation. Witness accounts started to reveal Terry and Margaret's depraved dreams and their desire for power. Reports of the couple's violent and humiliating behavior surfaced, leaving a trail of victims who had fallen prey to their cunning plans. Beyond the disappearance of Jaren Lockhart, a network of lies existed. Terry and Margaret were involved in a network of illicit activities, including prostitution and drug trafficking, according to law police. Their participation in these illegal actions solidified their reputation as violent and depraved individuals. The evidence grew stronger against Terry and Margaret as the investigation went on. They were implicated in Jaren's disappearance and possible murder, according to cell phone data, witness accounts, and forensic investigation. As the puzzle's pieces came together, the real scope of their malevolent motives became apparent. Ultimately, under the constant scrutiny of law enforcement, the elaborate web of lies that Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez had woven fell apart. The tragic reality of Jaren Lockhart's death was made clear to everyone as the truth about her fate came to light. Law enforcement officials discovered a gory and horrifying truth throughout the course of the inquiry into Jaren Lockhart's disappearance, which caused shockwaves across the neighborhood. The discovery of Jaren Lockhart's bones, which were dispersed around the Mississippi shoreline, paints a horrifying picture of the horrible crimes Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez committed. The crime scene was a graphic depiction of brutality that showed the depth of the evil Jaren had experienced. The mutilated body pieces that were carelessly dumped behind spoke of Terry and Margaret's inhumanity and lack of compassion. It served as a chilling reminder of the depths of evil that the human soul is capable of holding. The forensic examination supported the identification of the bones and offered a somber affirmation of Jaren's demise. There was no question regarding the degree of violence perpetrated upon the innocent victim according to the evidence gathered at the site, which pointed to a vicious and planned murder. It became evident that Jaren's final moments were fraught with unspeakable horror as the details of the murder came to light. She had been the victim of the sadistic wants of Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez, who had taken her life and tortured her in an unthinkable way. Investigators and the general public were in shock over how brutally violent these people were in their activities. The shocking truth's disclosure gripped the nation's attention and media outlets as well as the general public's. The horrific facts of Jaren's unfortunate destiny acted as a wake-up call that spurred communities to band together in the battle against such horrible crimes. The incident sparked debates on the need for increased safety precautions, better victim assistance, and a collective effort to stop similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Jaren Lockhart's story stands as a haunting testament to the horrors that can be inflicted upon the innocent. It is a reminder that evil exists in our world and that we must remain vigilant in the face of such darkness. The gruesome truth revealed by the investigation into Jaren's murder serves as a solemn reminder that justice must be pursued relentlessly and the victims must never be forgotten. The trial that followed was terrifying for everyone involved. Witnesses described Terry and Margaret's deranged imaginations and their desire for power. There was no question about their guilt because the evidence was overwhelming and led to their conviction. Terry Speaks was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole in 2015, while Margaret Sanchez was given a 40-year sentence. The terrible story of Jaren Lockhart's death serves as a disturbing reminder that evil can exist anywhere, even in those we least expect it. It emphasizes the value of being vigilant and the relentless efforts of law enforcement to ensure that the innocent receive justice. May Jaren's memory go on and be a light for a more secure society. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey inside the lives of Terry Speaks and Margaret Sanchez, the heinous couple that enticed and murdered Jaren Lockhart. For more compelling real crime tales, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you like this episode. Keep in mind to be cautious and watchful, since the shadows may hide unspeakable monsters. This concludes Crime Chronicles. Till next time.